Hey, Dr. LeGrand here. Welcome to my channel where we bring you videos on intermittent fasting, fasting and detoxification, and other health videos that you guys might have questions on. So if this is your first time on our channel, consider subscribing. In this video, I'm going to answer a question that one of you guys had about how to break a long-term fast. I've talked about how to break a short-term fast, but this one I'll talk about how to break a long-term fast. Now keep in mind, I'm not suggesting that everybody needs to do a long-term fast. In fact, I have always said this on my channel that if you are considering doing a long-term fast, make sure you check with your doctor first, see if you're capable of doing it. A lot of people, there's some really healthy people that can just do just fine on doing a long-term fast, but really check with your doctor or at least go to a facility. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about how to actually break a long-term fast. So with breaking a long-term fast, you have to keep in mind, how long have you done it? Okay. The rule of thumb is if you've done, for example, like a 3-day fast or a 7-day or a 14-day, if you've done it that long, it takes that same amount of time. So if you did it, for example, for 7 days, it takes that amount of time, so 7 days, to come off and break a fast. You need to spend just the same amount of time that you were on the fast to actually break a fast. Otherwise, you lose all the benefits that you actually were doing a fast. You'll hit the yo-yo effect of gaining all the way back. You also won't benefit from all the things that you did with fasting by increasing your immunity, improving digestion, improving inflammation in the body. I talk about different benefits of fasting that I'll leave a link here for that information at the end of the video. But you lose a lot of those benefits if you don't break your fast properly. If you just jump right back into eating solid foods and just eating whatever, then you lose a lot of the benefits from that. Not only by doing another additional double the amount of time, another 7 days, if you're doing a 7-day fast, by using that 7 days, it extends the benefits of the fasting. So really, let's dive into how to actually break that fast initially. So with the very first day when you decide to break a fast, you don't eat any solids. So I'm just gonna give an example for 7 days, okay? But you've not been eating food for 7 days and just drinking water. So you need to introduce liquids first. And the best way is, of course, doing veggie juices. Not smoothies, but veggie juices. And what I mean by using actual juicer to be able to juice your vegetables, because that's what your body's been used to. It's been used to just liquids. So you don't want to shock your body by introducing solidified foods just yet. So that very first day, just do veggie juices with a little bit of fruit, but mostly vegetables when you're doing those. Then by the next day, you can introduce smoothies. So maybe 1 or 2 of your meals, you can actually use smoothies by using a blender to get that fiber, but again, it's still more vegetable, it's vegetable base. By the 3rd day, that's when you can actually introduce more solid vegetables. So maybe one of your meals is actually steamed cooked vegetables. I would probably encourage more of cooked vegetables, or like maybe a veggie broth with maybe some, within a soup, be able to, so that way it's easier for the body to still break down. But then by the 4th day, you could actually eat raw vegetables, and then by the 5th day, then you can actually introduce more liquid proteins. Not quite yet the proteins, but liquid proteins. So what I mean by that is actually like bone broths. So chicken bone broths or beef bone broths. That way it's still more liquid base, but you're actually getting some more proteins into the body and actually extending the benefits of the fast. The next piece that you would do, besides doing just the bone broths, by the 6th day, then you can actually introduce meats itself. But stick with more lighter meats, so like chicken, fish, and turkey by the 6th day. Then once you get to the 7th day, this is where you can start adding grains back in. So adding grains back in, and then we're already at the 7th day, but you can also then, by the 8th day, then we can add the other food groups such as dairy. The reason why it's not only beneficial to introduce a food this way by extending the fasting and detoxification period, but it also benefits by discovering for yourself if you have any food allergies. And what I mean by that is the way to figure out if you have any food allergies is by doing elimination diet. And that's where you basically eliminate certain foods for a time period and then reintroducing them back into the body. But since you've been fasting for a long time, you've been eliminating all foods. So when you introduce certain foods back to your system, such as meats, to see if you have any allergic response to that, or if you have any allergic response to grains or dairy, but you have to do it at one day at a time, otherwise it's really hard to determine if you have any food sensitivity to that. But that is a great way to be able to determine if you do have any food tolerances or allergies to those certain types of foods. So those are just two great ways to benefit of breaking off a fast, and this is how I usually like to break off a fast, because you're not only extending the benefits of the detoxification and the fasting in the first place, but you're also able to see if you have any food intolerances. So this is just information I have. If you have any more questions about how to break a long-term fast, leave those in the comment section below. If this is your first time on our channel, we talk about intermittent fasting here, fasting and detoxification, and other health tips or health questions that you might have that you can ask. So consider subscribing to our channel. And then if you liked this video, give us a big thumbs up, share with your family and friends. And until next time, this is Dr. LeGrand, out. Bye.